This is Peter Collins with another sales training module. And in this module, I want to share with you your words and the way you speak and how important they are in a conversation, especially in a sales conversation, because it's the words we use and the way we use them that create certain pictures in our minds. Now, certain words are common to selling and the way we communicate against each other as salespeople. But the same words in a sales call can be enough to turn people off and for you to surrender the sale even before you ask for the sale. Yes, it's the words we speak and the way we use those words that is so important. There are certain words that we use and the way that we use them that will create mental pictures in our minds. And it's the same words that create mental pictures in the minds of our prospects as well. Because certain words that are commonplace to selling and the way we communicate against each other as salespeople or with each other in a sales meeting room are the same words that can turn people off. Yes, the same words that can turn people off. You see, for years now, people have been so bombarded by our sales buzzwords that they've not only become accustomed to them, but even now fear them, especially when they know they are being skillfully led into a sale or a closing situation. And in certain selling situations, especially with a domestic overtone, such as retail selling or in-home selling, it is vital that you speak their language and not the one that they've grown to fear, your sales language. Now, I was first introduced to the sales buzzwords I'm referring to in the late 1970s, and they first appeared in my audio tape series, Over 50 Ways of Closing the Sale, back in the early 1980s. Then I reproduced them again in my paperback book of the same name, Over 50 Ways of Closing the Sale, published in 1993. Now, the following words are a complete extract from the book, proving their ability to stand the test of time, and they do stand the test of time, and in the main, they've remained unchanged in the past 50 years since I learnt them. So learn these words carefully and learn to replace them with the appropriate words. Learn to replace customer with client. Payment with investment. Buy with own. Buyer with user. Contract with agreement. Deposit with a small deposit. Close with an opportunity to own. Buyer with owner. Order with paperwork. Price with total investment. Forms with details. So let's not fill in the forms in future, but instead let's write down the details. And let's not take a deposit on a $2 million home because it sounds frightening, especially at a 20 or 30% deposit. However, a small deposit is acceptable, and even if it's only 20 or 30%. The emphasis is on the word small deposit and only. And if you didn't have a buyer of your product last week, but a happily involved user, everybody will be happy And it's for those reasons that I've cautioned people to avoid using the word contract. But because we know that contracts are legally binding, we should prefer to use an alternative. And the alternative to contract can be either agreement or the paperwork. So when we learn to remove those buzzwords and replace them with appropriate sales words, the mental image will become far less threatening. So think about the words you use and replace any negative word picture images with the much gentler and more positive ones.